Hey, what's happening, my fearless networking friend? Todd Falcone here. Welcome back to another episode. And we're going to talk today about a subject that is pretty common in the network marketing space, and that is like prospecting reluctance. You know, the inability to get after it, to invite someone to take a look at your product, to take a look at your business. And it is very, very common, okay, for people to have fear or trepidation related to the one activity, the number one activity that actually is going to make you the most money, and that's, you know, talking to people or engaging people in conversations about your product that you're marketing or service or your business. So question is, how do we get rid of this prospecting reluctance, okay? And is it possible to get rid of it? Yes, you can get rid of it. I'm going to give you some thoughts today, and I think it's the implementation that makes the biggest difference. You can sit here and be a learner. I actually was doing a Facebook Live with a really good friend of mine the other day, and we were talking about learning, being a learner versus being an implementer. And you know, we had a pretty interesting chat about that. There's a lot of people that are like these, you know, learners, and they just learn, but they never do. So I just think it's really important that if you're plugging into me for like network marketing tips or strategies to be more successful, if I give you a tip, like take the tip and do something with it, right? Don't just sit on it. So, and I understand, you know, the reluctance of engaging people in conversation. You don't see me new today because I'm not new today. Like I've been in this game for a long time. But the truth is, like, I had a lot of fear early on in my career, okay? And I had a lot of fear with how people were going to perceive me because I was so young at the time. You know, I always felt that like, oh, if you're older than me, you must make more, you must know more. And that was very intimidating for me. But I will say this, even though it was intimidating, okay? Even though it was intimidating, I still did it. Fearfully, I did it. Fearfully, nervously, cotton mouth, heart pounding, sweating. I still did it. Now, okay, so, well, Todd, then that means you didn't have, you know, prospecting reluctance. Yeah, I was scared. But the thing is, I wanted what was on the other side of that fear more than, you know, I was going to allow that fear to dictate my behavior. So that's another thing, like how bad do you really want it? Like if you really wanted it that bad, you would push yourself into the position of fear, that thing that you fear the most, so that you could experience it, work your way through that fear, get on the other side of it and realize that you survived, that you lived, right? So one of the things I have people do, especially that, you know, that are completely stuck, is it's called a linking strategy. It's not, I mean, some of you guys may have heard this strategy before, but I think it's pretty powerful. It's like literally you make one call, right? You're totally stuck. You're like, not only in prospecting reluctance, you're in prospecting stuckness. You're like doing nothing. And so, you know, you belly up to the desk and then you do everything but. You know, you come in and then you organize and dust and clean or do whatever else but the one thing that you know is going to make you money, and then you never do it. So if you can summon up the courage to make one call or do one reach out or do one invite, and you make that one move, and then when you're done with it, whether it went well or it didn't go well, like take a deep breath, touch yourself and go, okay, I'm still here, I'm alive, I survived. Like, it might have not have been great, it might have totally sucked, in fact, but the truth is you're still here. And if you can do one, you can do another, and if you can do another, you can do another, and if you can do another, you can do another, and so on. So you take that one experience, good, bad, or indifferent, and then you do it again, and then you do it again, and then you do it again, and you're linking them together. And I think another thing is if you have prospecting reluctance, one of the reasons I'm really high on the whole idea of doing what's called a power hour is you're doing 60 minutes, no less, of uninterrupted prospecting, which what does that do? Well, that puts you in the position of having a chance to kind of get into a groove rather than do one call in the morning and then 5 days later you do another reach out to somebody, whether it's online or offline. So if you're doing it consistently one after another, you can tend to get into a bit, you know, start to feel a little more smooth. You're starting to kind of get it. You're starting to feel more comfortable. That's another thing that you can do, is like set aside dedicated time to do it. But I mean, look, here's the deal. You're not going to ever make money in network marketing if you're so reluctant to prospect that you're stuck. Right? So you've got to get to a point where you feel comfortable, you feel good about the activity, because it's the activity that's going to make you more money than anything else, regardless. I mean, if you're doing a bunch of stuff on social media and you're drawing people to you and you're doing attraction marketing strategies, which are great, you still got to reach out to those people and say, look, I hear it, I appreciate you reaching out to me. I'd love to show you what we're doing. Here's this video, check it out. You still have to, reach out to those people. So you still have to, be proactive. Another thing, and I've talked about this probably on 1,000 videos, is the concept of practice. Like, if you don't practice what you're about to do, you're going to feel uncomfortable doing it. So if you build practice into your routine and you start like working actually on improving your skill sets, like, again, I know some of you guys have followed me for a long time. Some of you guys might be new, but this correlation between competence and confidence, like competence, the higher skilled you are, the higher confidence you're going to have. And people that are confident at something, they just go do it. If you're highly skilled at something, you have confidence, so you're not going to avoid the activity. You're not going to have reluctance to that activity. So I don't care if I've said this a bazillion times. If you're not practicing to improve how you feel about what you do, you're going to continue to put it off. And the last thing I'll say for this particular episode is anytime you can grab someone to do it with you. And some of you guys have heard me talk about this before as well. Why would you do something alone when you can do it with someone? I mean, even having one person with you, like it's having like a gym partner. If you have a gym partner and you guys are working out together, you're going to push it further with a gym partner than you would by yourself. If you had a personal fitness trainer, guarantee that personal fitness trainer is going to push you even more because you hired that person to push you. I go out on hikes with my wife. She naturally walks at a faster pace than I do, so she is the pace setter. So if I go on a hike with my wife, guaranteed, like I'm going to, she's the one that's setting the pace. She walks faster than I normally do. So I'm going to step up my pace to match my wife's pace, and I end up getting a better workout as a result of it. So if you got somebody on your team, a sideline person, whatever, and you guys can like collaborate until you get to that comfortable position, you've got to be able to get to the point where you can do it alone, that you can do it by yourself, that you don't need somebody with you. But it certainly makes things a little bit easier when you do that. And you must get rid of this prospecting reluctance, this stepping up and then not stepping forward. You're like, step up, you're like, I'm going to do this, and then you never do anything. And then you're like, oh, why didn't I do it? It's another day of like me not, producing. It's frustrating. So stop the frustration, like do something, take some action every single day. Take consistent back-to-back action by linking, invites or calls together. And I promise you, it will be more smooth over time. Like, I know where I started. I know I sucked at prospecting. I know that I sounded terrible, that I was stuttering, that I was mechanical while I was talking to people, and it sounded like I was reading from a script, because I was. And I finally got to a point where it became conversational, and it just was a conversation with a specific objective, and it was to find out if the person was open to taking a look at a financial opportunity outside of what they might have currently been doing. And you can get into a state of flow and you can become more comfortable, and then the reluctance is gone. So just some thoughts for the day. YouTubers, appreciate you guys. Love to hear your comments. Love to see my YouTube folks. If you're on my podcast on audio, if you want to come over to my page on this particular episode, leave some comments. Love feedback from you guys. toddfalcone.com/episode 201. That's TODDFALCONE.com/episode 201. Have an amazing day. We'll see you next time.